shit is squeamish. Friday nights be gleaming. We stay hype with guys like no matter what, cause we queenin'. Hey, we queenin'. We queenin'. When them other chicks be scheming, we stay hype cause we queenin'.
With them queens and I'm feeling all them hands up. Got a crown on my head, no we can't be touched.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, y'all?
Hi, home girls.
Hashtag swag.
And DJ Missy E.
That's what we do.
Introduce each other.
That's what we do.
This is the Night Hype Show. What is this, episode
12?
Yeah, and once again, we're not alone.
We are not.
And
We
Jesus.
have people in the building
I'm
with
so glad.
us.
It
Yay.
can hold us down forever.
We representing the KC female DJs in the Stuuud. What's up? What's up?
Hey, y'all.
DJ Dawna.
What's up?
And we have DJ Ice Cold in the building, y'all.
You said do them introductions, girl. She gonna record my drop. What are you talking about? Who did your drop?
We wanted to have more female. There's so many female DJs here in Kansas City. I really wanted to, put on the forefront all the female DJs out here because there's so many of y'all.
Yeah.
So many of us out here working hard, grinding, doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to bring them in next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Definitely.
But we do have a couple here in the building. Well, me, of course, too. But we do have a few here in the building.
Free, y'all.
Yes. I gotta make sure y'all know. Thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Oh my gosh. So what do y'all think about, I know right now we are not having as much business as we used to. I know that we try to stay busy, especially on the weekends. Mm-hmm. And now we have COVID-19. So we everything just slowed down. How do y'all feel about what's going on in this pandemic and the business of being a DJ and all the other aspects of everything else you guys got going on? How do y'all feel about this?
So I'll start. I am actually blessed to be able to do what I love, which is be in music and DJ, and also still have a 9 to 5. And I've been fortunate to have a company that's still working. So I've been working from home, staying busy. Right. And while I do wake up some days and be like, man, I miss playing music. I was doing more corporate events, private events. And so those were more sporadic. I didn't have like a regular weekend gig. So but my husband is a full-time DJ and AV person. And so really this pandemic hit him harder. And I found that I was having to kind of kick into survival mode on his behalf. And talk him off the ledge, like, it's all gonna come back. That superwoman came. Right. I'm like, wait a minute. And then I was like, he'd come home and I'd have all the gear set up, and I'm like, hey, we're about to DJ today. He's like, it's been a minute. And I'm like, we're just gonna get on and DJ. And it's been hard because neither one of us can really go live without getting blocked in the first couple minutes. And so every time we get on Facebook, I know, wait a minute. Then Instagram started doing it, then Periscope, then we were like, okay, so we got on Twitch. Doing it too?
I didn't even know.
For us. When we go live for him, and because he does some of the stuff, he does one song and if it goes like 85 seconds, he's out. I can make it a couple minutes, and then I'm out.
Have you guys tried Twitch at all?
We did Twitch.
Okay.
We've done it a couple times, and then we just kind of said, hey, we're gonna play it. We're gonna play for the love of it, and that's what we do. So, but it's just been a little bit of a shift, and then we realized that we try and keep our chops up, stay up with the music. We still do our downloads, still do that, but when it turns around, it'll start turning around. I'm learning the lingo. She's like,
because it's real, man. It's really affected the business of DJing right now. Everybody can't get together. We can't play music for everybody. But I see that ever since the pandemic started, people have been trying to DJ on Facebook or Periscope or Twitch and all them other sites. And just to keep the morale of people's spirits. Because I'm telling you, being a DJ, you have to. Yes.
We get the same love that D-Nice and Jeffy Jeff and the rest of them kids.
Yes.
I'm not saying we DJ on that level. Look, I'll be clear. I'm not trying to say we on that level, but can we get the same amount of love and they let us DJ live on Facebook?
Let us play our music too.
We want to reach the masses too. Right.
Exactly. So do you guys have any, I know right now, it's just kind of slow, but do you guys have plans of when, I guess we're going to be getting off lockdown here in a little bit. I mean, they are opening up,
right?
They are opening up slowly. Kansas City's opening up slowly. Missouri's opening up slowly.
Because Missouri governor has said no rules. I believe as of this upcoming Tuesday, just full restrictions gone. But I think it still is up to each mayor what we're going to do. And so Kansas City Mayor Lucas, I can see it going either way. I don't know what he's going to do. If he's going to be like, okay, go for it, or we're going to do 50%, or because right now we're at 50%. Or is he going to say, well, let's do 75%? Like, not go full 100%.
Us, please.
Right. Like, I've been glad that they, especially Mayor Lucas, I live on the Kansas side, and so Governor Kelly and everybody, I've been appreciative of what they have done. I don't know about anybody else and where they believe, and I know for me, business-wise, I went from Wednesday through Sunday gigs, having 2 or 3 gigs a day, to nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was so depressed that I even ate ice cream in the shower. Like,
Can you find it?
there was no laws. There was no rules. I just said screw it and did it because I was just in my feelings.
I ain't mad at you, girl. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah. I mean, I gained 10 pounds, but I'm right back down now, so I'm fine. I'm fine now. I got my poop in a group. It's fine. But I have been really grateful because I have lost people to this virus. People who should have never been impacted. A person who, my father-in-law in a nursing home, this should have never touched him.
Yes.
And so I've been really grateful to see businesses who are wearing masks, who are encouraging social distancing, and for the governors and mayors to step in and be like, hold on now, like maybe in rural Kansas, we don't need as many rules and restrictions because we haven't had any cases, and you probably rarely see anybody anyway because you're out on the farm, you're mostly working with the animals, I get it. But here in the city, like, I do think we need those, I guess, mommy factors of them being like, hey, let's pump the brakes and let's incrementally baby step back in, because you got other people I saw on Snapchat and people's stories during all of this. They were partying every single night and getting together and doing screw you COVID parties and like taking a lollipop and passing it around. The same lollipop.
Extra stuff. I hope all those people are COVID free today. That's
exactly.
I hope so. Yeah, but it just that kind of stuff just infuriated me.
Yeah. But you know what? The reality of this, I think, sadly so, because even we have kids who were now at home. They were doing school from home. Then school got out early, so then it was, ahead of schedule. So then it was like early summer, but it didn't feel like summer because they were at the house. They couldn't go out and hang out with their friends.
Right.
So it was that end up dealing with your own adult seclusion, but then trying to deal with the kids who were really not feeling it. And then I had my stepdaughter, one of the former teachers in the district passed
from COVID.
Complications related to. And it hit really hard for them, and it was like that reality then snapped, and I hated to hear or see people finally grasp the seriousness of it just because they lost someone.
That's how it's been for me, is making it real for people by saying I have lost somebody, and it's like stopped them in their tracks while they're in the middle being like, why are you wearing a mask? And I'm like, because I lost somebody, and I'm trying to protect you and protect myself. And it just suddenly, like, bam, oh my gosh.
It makes
I'm so sorry. This virus is real suddenly. It's not a myth.
I would rather you take it seriously and no one dies.
Thank you.
It takes for someone to die.
Right. Yes. Agreed.
And that applies to so much of what's going on right now.
Yes.
So it's just kinda crazy.
And then there's some people who choose to still be an ostrich and just stick their head in the ground and be like, this is what I will do.
Yeah.
I will still say this is stupid. I will not listen to your rationale. It's a conspiracy.
Yes.
It's trying to play with voting and all this stuff. Okay.
I work at a hospital, so I have to wear a mask, sometimes 2 masks at the same time, and put a whole gown on, depending on where I'm at. This is real. This whole thing is real. I know that they think it's not so much no more because we're opening up and all that in Kansas City or in the nationwide, but it is still a for real situation, and it has been spiked since they've been opening up.
Well, and I can't. It's part of human nature to cleave, to be social, right?
Yeah.
That is just part of the human being.
Yeah.
And so, when it's hard to lose that instinct when you see someone to hug them.
Right.
Or-
Okay. And I'm a
like-
hugger. And
right.
So now I either have to stick the
Do the
elbow
elbow
or
or-
ass.
do the
You
hand.
know.
Yeah.
As someone not a hugger, this has been glorious.
But I mean, so when I even today we were driving. Yesterday we were driving by somewhere and there were people that were sitting out on the patio, and I get it, but then somebody else came to the patio and there were no more open tables, and it was like a long table. So they were like, "Oh, can I share the table with you?" And I was like, "Well, but
Yeah.
Okay.
like,
Can you not?
yeah." And I'm like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't," because
Right.
they're strangers. Like, I mean, and it's that fine line,
That
right?
fine
Like,
line. The
That's
new
right.
when I
How
have
do you say no?
when I have my son
Right.
come by and I'm like, "You been to work? What have you been doing?" My stepson, he works in security, and so I'm like, "You've been around, you had great days, took a shower,
Okay.
Did you?" My oldest son, I couldn't see him for 2 weeks. His roommate got sick and they weren't sure, so he got tested. And I said, "Well, that means I can't see you for the next 2 weeks." And it just so
Right.
happened to be on the same day that my job sent out the email saying that we weren't probably going to go back physically into the office until August.
Wow.
I got really emotional. I started crying. I was like, "I can't see my people.
I love it.
I can't play no music.
You can't do nothing.
Yeah.
And so that's what I wanted to ask you, just because for a DJ, well, I think I love music, being radio personality, and then also just, of course, being around DJ, and she's great at what she does, definitely a music connoisseur.
Thank you.
But how was it? I mean, you said you was eating ice cream and chat. Like, how do y'all keep that passion? Because I'm just a podcaster, you know what I'm saying? And I felt my passion for it just does this mean anything anymore? You felt like you have to talk about what's going on currently. So what sparked that passion even still, for you to still say, "Yep, I DJ, hire me," and
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. As of next week, I start going back into some gigs. And
Yeah.
personally, I'm not ready.
Really?
But,
Okay.
yeah,
And
I'm nervous.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
nervous to do it, but
Yeah.
I have talked with owners and clients and just said, I will be wearing a mask. I do not want people around me.
Right.
I will happily be, hello.
Okay, no,
Yeah, you don't need to be in
Yeah.
the booth with me,
Yeah.
hanging out and breathing on me and be
Right.
like, what track you playing next?
Okay,
No.
right.
You don't need that. She said, just like when I was turning out.
Wait, no, here's my favorite question. Are you going to play my song?
Okay.
Right.
Is my song up next?
Right. Go
Like,
sit down.
I got 20
Yeah.
people.
And that goes in my next question. What are the do's and don'ts for, the people that are enjoying your music as a DJ? What to tell everybody when you are playing at a event or, a party, whatever.
I feel like
how
we
do you interact?
we really went at this in the group chat, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Right.
Yes, we did.
So, I mean, I would say this. If it's let me start with a private event versus a public event.
Yeah,
There
two
are-
different
Break it down,
mentalities.
Break it down.
When I get hired for a private event, I do ask a lot of questions of who's hiring me, what's the crowd like, what,
Yeah.
if it's a wedding or a private party, what kind of music do you like, or what is the guest of honor like, what era, clean versions, regular versions, and I get pretty detailed, short of getting an actual song list, right? So they've told me what they want to hear. I don't mind someone contributing what they think might be a good song, but I encourage people to enjoy the music. I don't discourage people from, interacting, but it's a private event and the DJ's probably been hired and they didn't just randomly pop out of the air and then go, oh yeah, well, I don't know if they know what to play, or they didn't play so-and-so's favorite song. I'm like, I'm sure if it was their favorite song, they would have provided it to me. So I'm good. Just enjoy the music. Now, if you look out and I'm playing music and nobody's dancing, nobody's bobbing their head, because sometimes people don't get up and dance right away, but people are bobbing their head, and that's what I'm looking for.
Body language.
I am not the DJ that's going to let a whole song play because that's just what I have up next. I will mix and rotate it in, fade it out, fade it back in. If I make a mistake and play the wrong version of the song, I will switch it up, right? So just have a good time and enjoy it. Now, public event, I'm going to let you answer that one because I want to say I no longer do that. I just don't do as many.
Yeah.
There are people who that is their lane. Everybody has their lane.
Everybody has their lane.
Yeah.
And that's another question. Go ahead and answer that one. I got another one for you.
Yeah. I mean, I love both, but as far as like the bar scene and stuff, like, yes, I'm happy to play your song, but really, like, if you ask me once, and it's all in the attitude of the asking, like, by all means, if you're like, hey, my name is Kyle, and I think you're doing a great job, but, you know, my girl has a birthday, and this is one of her favorite songs. Could you work this in at some point tonight?
Look, you slip that with a 20, and you can get to play next.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a secret.
I'll get on that. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. We'll play it next. But yeah. And I'll be honest, 8 times out of 10, I'm already thinking of playing that song. You were requesting a song. We are at 10 o'clock at night. That's a midnight.
Okay.
Right. You know what I mean? Like when more people are in there.
Yes.
So I promise you, I'll take care of you. But I hate repeating songs.
Me too.
I really try very hard not to. The only time that it will ever happen is if I've already played it and then you give me a $50 bill and then all right, I'll make it work.
Like for example, Old Time Road.
Yeah.
Yes.
Old Town Road.
Because they want, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Old Town Road. They wanted to hear that like the first song of the day.
Whatever the first song is.
Yes. I try to play that at the end.
You know, I'm trying to get established.
Yes.
Like 5 times.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I like it when they request a song and then you play it. And then they come back. When you gonna play my song? I'm like,
you missed it.
That, right?
You missed
it. You do it. Can you play it again? I'll try.
Try. Yeah.
No promise.
And then don't repeat, ask me if I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
And then also don't ask for my microphone. Shut up, Kyle. No one cares.
Right.
No one wants to hear your voice over the microphone. Kyle, shut up.
Kyle. I'm like, before you're giving the business to Kyle.
Man, tell y'all something.
I gotta tell you, I know there's a ton of female DJs in the city, and my husband and I were working on a project, and I had this idea. So I started out with a few female DJs that I knew, and it expanded and it grew. So we have 12 to 15 of us. Yeah. And it's been great. We've talked, we've been casual, we've swapped jobs, like, hey, I'm double booked,
the networking
we swapped
has been
and we shared tips, tricks, new music, that kind of stuff. So it really has been cool. So we did have this conversation, and one of us was like, hey, you are really giving Kyle the business in your complaints, because everything was like, no, Kyle, shut up, Kyle. I was like, hey, whoever Kyle is, you is getting the
business, girl.
Yeah. And also, as a female, I don't want your number.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
That is like the number one of the number one struggles of being a female DJ.
I can honestly say I've had to ward off some guys from DJ Missy E. I definitely have. Not because you guys, you girls,
Yeah.
are so cool.
Because we're so friendly and we're so cool.
I can say that, but then I've had a friends. My husband's a DJ, and he does again more corporate, not club events. He did not do his. He did his first club again after we got married, so that's kind of funny. But I've been in the booth with male DJs, and they get that same reaction. It's just a little bit different, and I think the females carry themselves maybe a little bit different.
Yeah.
Guys are sometimes often really aggressive, and if you're a DJ, it's like they stare. It's like you're the unicorn, like,
Right.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're a DJ.
And your girl.
Yeah.
Like, yes. Yeah, it's like a little kid thing. And I'm like, okay, calm down. It's gonna be okay.
But we've been in the game for a minute. Like, come on now. Like, don't think like it's just a deer in headlights. Don't look like that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and like I've had it to where it's been both public and private events. Like I've had a father of the bride hit on me,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "Oh no, honey, no. I'll play your song "Stroking," but that's as far like.
Not
No.
stroking.
What's so stroking in the wind? Wait a minute.
Yeah, like
Not
I am 1,000% not interested.
That reminds me, that's gonna go on my list that we will not play.
Please,
Unless
please,
the bride
ban
in
it.
the groom. You know, I can't say that though because I've had a bride in the groom. I went to a wedding with my husband, and he was. A lot of times I put the playlist together sometimes for him, or if he didn't have a song, I'll go get it. And somebody requested "Some Cut" by Trillville as the garter toss song. I said, "Does this say Some Cut?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, like,
You sure?
And he was like, "So they got on here." I said, "At the wedding?" I just kept asking questions. And
That's
so
a
he's
birthday
like,
party.
he's like, I think I'm going to do the instrumental version. I was like, even still, okay? Like, when you hear the,
You already know what it's about.
like,
Yeah.
the garden top
I
song,
been
that's
talking
like
about
the
it for
exorcism,
days. Oh my God.
My favorite garter toss song was "Pimp Juice," Nelly. Yeah.
Hey, okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I love
I think
that
you have to use
one.
before I do some cut. I'm not even gonna lie.
Exactly.
But still,
Exactly.
it was awkward with
Yeah, it
grandma
was.
watching.
Oh,
But
yeah, this is true.
but
This is true.
the groom did not care. He totally got into
Yeah.
it, and it was like, "All right, baby, you go."
All right.
How important is it for a person that's planning an event to pick out the right DJ?
Oh my gosh.
That's a good question
So
now.
this is my husband's credo, and I've known this. So to give y'all some history, I've been probably publicly DJing for a shorter amount of time than a lot of folks probably like. But I've been into music all my life. My dad was a road manager for several major artists. I love all kinds of music, and even I laugh because my husband say, "What's that song?" I'm like, "I do not know the song."
Okay, she just said to me out.
But the one thing that he says, and I've agreed with this many times, is when people, especially at a wedding, they'll remember the bride, the food, and how good the party it was, how good the music was.
That turn up was.
When you
for
go to
sure.
a club, what do you remember? You're like, they got two guys, or fine
That
chicks.
bartender.
They got room for everybody to kind of sit.
Yeah.
The dance floor is not too little, whatever, and the music is fire.
Yeah.
You can have a hole in the wall. And
But
I
if
promise
your
you,
music is
if your
fire,
music, your
we
DJ
coming
is
to
popping,
turn up.
and your
Yeah.
bartenders is popping,
Yes.
you're gonna be
It's gonna be
packed.
lit.
Yep.
You know, if you keep your people safe, you might even have a little fight here and there.
Okay.
I'm older.
That
I'm
part.
closer to 50 than I care to say.
Yeah.
But
You don't look a
She
day.
don't
You don't look like it, not a
Yeah,
day.
I say she
Yeah.
I know.
But if you can keep a good safe club that has good bartenders and fire music and a DJ who don't talk too much, I will be there all the time.
See?
After this all passes over and we get back to the club, I know they're gonna open. It'll take me a little bit longer. I'm a two-stepper, but I like to party. I'm from California originally, so I like DJs who mix.
Yes.
I like them who change it up. I don't like you to talk a lot. I don't like to talk on the mic a lot. When I do club gigs, I make an announcement here and there.
Yeah,
and that's it. Bartenders, waitresses, tip.
When you get on the mic, it's important. Right. It's
but
not
I
there
talk
for
through my
fluff.
music. I want to
Yeah.
be on that dance floor. I mix. I keep it high. Do some light shows. It's helpful. But it's so important because the music is what, even if people are just head nodding, it can be in the background. Sometimes the music is just a backdrop for what's going on.
Yeah.
You're talking, you're eating, you're shopping, you're doing this in the room, you're just congregating. And if you have the right music, people will be like, I've had people come up to me at an event where all I did was play background music. And they were like, "Do you have a card?"
Girl, this just happened to her.
Me too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's so important.
It's very
Because if the music is bad, I'm gonna tell you,
Everybody notices.
Everybody
Yeah.
notices.
Mhm.
They turn around and look at their show and movies.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Seriously.
They just like
Utterly,
that.
utterly disgusting.
And they
Oh.
they go and find out who their name is, so they can say, "Oh, you're a DJ. Well, so and so is bad."
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
never
Like they-
hired them.
Like
Right.
you're texting your friends, "Girl, I'm at this spot and this
Okay.
DJ."
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is true.
Mhm.
Or I mean, and I think music, to me, music is so important. Music tells the stories a lot of times that you can't put into words.
Thank
I
you.
say.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and that goes for all types of music. So, even from a church experience to when I'm at work, my husband will listen to like talk radio in the car, and I'm like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
He used to ride in silence, and I'm like,
I used to be like that though. I think you know, like when we worked at the radio, hearing music so much that when I would like ride in my car, when I wasn't at the station, I would have to ride in silence. Like
now I don't listen to the radio.
Yeah.
I have to play it loud.
Sometimes,
And it sucks because if I'm in the car with somebody and you want to have a conversation, I'm kind of trying to talk over the music. They're like, girl, turn it down. Turn it down. Turn it down.
I'm like, did
My
you
bad.
just touch my
Who do you think you are?
Right. But it got to the point where I didn't listen to the radio because we play a lot of the same songs.
Yeah.
And then I started getting into like the Spotify.
Yeah.
Like I have Sirius in my car and I have it on my phone.
Serious though.
I got
Tidal.
I got Tidal.
They give you
I
all
have Tidal.
And series.
Yeah, I
And
got Apple
Spotify.
Music. Okay, you can tell I'm like, oh, then I have
I spend too much monthly on music.
that part right there.
Yeah.
I'm the one that used to make their own CDs.
Me
The
too.
songs would never even
That
go
was me.
together, but I'm
Were
just
you
like
like
I'm
on
not doing this.
Napster and stuff?
Oh yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah. So I think it's just it changes my moods. People call me in the morning on my way to work. I'm like, oh,
You gotta get your
Right.
mood right with
I only have a 15-minute commute. I gotta listen to my music.
Right. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I need more than coffee.
That part right
Okay.
there. I need the music then the coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
That
going
is
to chime in on that. I think music, obviously, number one, but also for your event, like a wedding, that everybody could be a DJ, but not everybody can be an MC.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
And so for a wedding,
Woo, Jesus.
yeah, so for a wedding, you need someone who can MC and play the
Mhm.
right music and read the crowd. Like just a couple weeks ago, my first event was a wedding, and it was in rural Kansas, right down at that Oklahoma border.
Yeah.
And I could tell real quick, okay, we're gonna be country two-stepping, you know, like
All night long.
yeah, and
Okay.
they want the '90s country, not the new,
No,
the
yeah.
bro country.
Okay.
You know, like they want to,
That part.
yeah, fishing in the dark. Like that's what they want. Okay, cool. So I think it's important to know like your crowd, what they're wanting, what they're reacting to, but yeah, most important, what Icicle said is music. But then also know if you need an MC or
Right.
not.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because me, I'm not I hate weddings. I'm sorry. I hate weddings.
Me
I
too.
hate weddings.
Me
with
too.
passion. I hate weddings. So whenever I get a wedding, I'm like, oh,
I always
else
see
like
from her perspective to hear she hates them. So why do you like them?
So I've also done event planning.
Okay. Okay. That
and-
explains it right there.
And
Yeah.
to me, one of the most integral parts when I plan my own wedding, like I plan my own wedding in like less than 2 months. And
You were ready.
Yeah. She already knew what she
I
wanted.
knew it. Yeah, it wasn't even so much that. Like we quickly made decisions, but I
Uh-huh.
spent more time picking out the music than I did picking out
Yeah.
the food, this. I found my dress real quick. Like that was
Yeah.
not important. I wanted to hear certain songs because this is what I wanted people to like when they hear that song. I actually
It's
made
a
a
piece
playlist
of you.
on
And it
Spotify.
takes you
Yeah.
back to that
It
moment.
does.
Oh my
I made a
God.
playlist and it was called Straws Pre-Wedding. And it was
Yeah.
exactly an hour and it was right about that. And it was songs that I wanted to get people ready for a wedding. Like get them in the mood for
Yeah.
love.
Yes.
Right?
Love.
Not
Yes.
just generic songs, specific ones that I picked out. Then I picked out different songs like the bridal party, the maid of honor,
Oh, nice.
the lead,
Oh,
the
okay.
exit, the entrance,
Yeah.
the
Girl,
sign.
look at you.
Yeah.
And like this
See,
is
that's why she liked it because
I was at work and I played with my coworkers and I was like, oh my God, I started crying back. Are you crying? I was like, yes.
you
Because
create
this
an
is
experience.
it.
Yes.
I want you to
It is.
feel it.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a lyrics person. So
Yeah.
other things, I write poetry. And so
Yes.
I like lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, some of these
They
lyrics I'm
matter.
like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's, again, like I said, it says the things that you are thinking and maybe couldn't put into words. And so I want you to feel that experience. So weddings to me, it's one day and people pick the songs they pick for whatever reason. So I want to make sure that you get what you want and I want to make sure it gets played right, and starts right, ends right, blends right.
Yeah.
And nobody hits the wrong button.
Mhm.
Yeah.
the DJ, didn't play the right songs.
Oh,
Everybody
wow.
sat around on the floor.
Okay, and I've seen
That's
that.
my
Yeah.
thing.
I've seen
Messing
that.
up the
It's a lot of pressure.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Because you only get one shot.
Okay.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
can't,
like
you
here's
can't
the-
mess up nobody's wedding.
That's
No,
right.
once the ceremony's over and then they make their entrance, then the focus is on you, right? So then it's kind of picking the right tones for what to play behind the food.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then I look and I kind of switch it up a little bit. And I do what I call
You
my
like the chair
tolerance.
dancing?
I do my
Okay.
tolerance testing. This is what I said, what's your tolerance? I'm like, okay, I might play jazzy hip hop. I'm like, okay, they kind of like hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay, I may play a little country. Mix
You have your
in
feeler
some-
songs,
Yeah,
your testers.
right.
Yeah.
Somebody will go, I like this song.
Okay.
That's when I do my crate dig and I go back to those 80s, 90s, early 2000 hits that they don't play on the radio anymore.
No.
People
Gold.
add to their
Forget.
playlist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good one.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a chance to do that because you don't always get to do that at a club. You don't get to do that
So,
at
we
parties.
have a new, graduates come in, pandemic has happened. This is just a new form of life.
Mhm.
Now, what do you say to the little girl that's looking at y'all right now and wants to be a female DJ?
Oh, good question.
You want to go first?
No, you go
Okay,
first.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
So, example for me was a lot of Girl Scouts. I do a lot of father-daughter dances.
Okay, that's
And-
cute.
And
That's
these Girl Scout groups are intentionally picking me because
Mhm.
they want the girls to see this is an avenue you
That you
could do.
can-
Right.
Right.
Like,
That's smart.
yeah, it's showing them, hey, this is a real avenue that you could
Mhm.
take, and it's viable as long as you work hard, and you do it right, know the
Right.
music, know how to entertain.
Right,
A
right,
mother-son dance is way different from a father-daughter dance.
Okay.
Different energies and
Wow.
expectations. So there's that. But as far as someone who is 18 or
Yeah,
21, 22,
Right.
I'm going to get real. I'm going to
Get
get
real,
real,
Get
girl.
real.
You
Let's
ready
do it.
for real,
Let's
real?
do it.
Okay, so I'm in this transitional phase where I am learning because I watch, I love the show Blackish
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And there was this particular episode, I think this current season, that talked about how Dre, he felt inferior to another Black man in the office. And he felt like he had to fight for his spot. And I
Yeah.
think it was Junior. That was kind of starting
Like
up
his
and
son.
coming, his son. And he was like, oh, no, that was
yeah.
my idea. And he would intentionally sabotage it. And then he kind of realizes towards the end of the episode of wait a second, I don't have to be the one token Black guy in this office anymore. We have grown to a point that we can have multiple Black people in this office. I have paved the way
Right.
for this to happen.
Right.
And that's where I'm at as a female.
Yeah, DJ. Okay.
Is I am learning not to feel territorial.
Right,
No,
right,
girl.
If that
right.
makes sense.
Yes.
Oh, it
Yeah.
makes perfect
But I
sense.
feel slightly embarrassed about it, to be honest with
No,
you.
because it's
Don't be.
real. It's
Don't be.
real.
But
Crabs
There's so
in
much
the
money to
barrel.
make. There's so much money
Because
for
I'm
everybody.
so
Yeah.
used to female, my whole life. I have been bullied my
Yeah.
whole life. And I am so used to females pushing on me and
Right.
bullying me, and that I have to fight for everything that I
right.
get, and anything that I get, I'm like, no,
Right.
I'm
I
like,
got
"Mine,
mine.
I'm
Yes,
mine,
yes,
I got this, don't know,
Right.
And I try, and so now I'm at this point where it's I don't have to do this.
Nice.
I don't
like
have to
it.
feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's enough gigs to go
Okay.
around.
Right.
There's
There
room
is
for
a
everybody.
seat for everybody.
I like
at the-
that.
at the
I
table
like
of
that.
music,
That's
you know.
So they shouldn't feel like, oh, I can't do it because there's already 15 DJs in Kansas City that are female.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's
Listen.
room for everybody at the table.
There's so many events,
Mm-hmm.
and again, that goes back to kind of conversation about finding your lane, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody said, there's really not a spot for neo-soul DJs. Then make one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Find a spot. Make
For
a radio
real.
show. What about reggae? There's a couple
Right.
reggae spots, but
Right.
start a reggae podcast, start a reggae. Figure out your lane. For me, I quickly learned, and this is not a shade. This is just me being honest. I'm at my age. I'm not really good at reading the young people crowd. I'm in like the music.
I'm in that weird group right now.
Yeah,
Like, oh crap.
Here's the thing. I get it. There's a formula. There's a because I can play the music. I can play the beats. I listen to what's hot. I can track of the chart. But there's a way to it. They party, and I'm like,
it's different.
I'm not it.
It's different.
They just, I'm
not it, and I get it. So I'm not offended.
Okay.
Don't bring me back. I'm okay.
Okay.
Right. Now, if you can bring me to the two-step party,
all day,
party, I
all
got
day.
you. I'm gonna have y'all stepping all night long.
Okay.
If somebody comes in and says, "Well, we're gonna bring so and so, it's another female DJ," that's cool. I realize that since this is not my bread and butter, that puts me in a unique situation because I'm not like, "Ooh, I'm gonna miss that check."
Yeah.
Sometimes I will do it just because it's fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The fact that I can make money at it, I'm like,
that's even better.
That's right.
Nice.
To circle it back around to the young girls, I partnered with, it was through various connections, but LaShawn Walker did the Lift Her Up conference this year. We connected, and she's like, I want you to know I'm making you the official Lift Her Up organization DJ. And I was like,
Hey.
but it was a women's event. They have women, they honor women, there were young girls there. And the lady, her daughter, just stood by the table, and she was like, "I'm sorry, she bothering you?" I said, "No, she's not bothering me." I said, "Until she starts trying to push some buttons, we good."
Right.
But I like that because there's a lot of young girls who love music and don't know what to do with it. They don't play an instrument. They don't like. You don't have to. I'm gonna sound real old. You don't gotta shake the booty.
Okay.
You don't gotta show the booties.
Right.
You don't
have to use your physical appeal to get somewhere.
You don't do sports or play an instrument or whatever. There are other avenues to show your love for the music. So I encourage people and that you can listen to all kind of music. I pull down rock, I pull down country.
Right.
I mixed what's the Prince song? Oh, I won't tell you the Prince song. Be Control. But I went from Keith Urban Blue Jeans. I was at a party and a lady requested the song. It was in the night, so I'm gonna play it last in the song. But I mixed that in with Prince.
Dope.
I did. And she so I told my husband, I'm playing Keith Urban. We like take snapshots of our decks to show each other our gigs. Yeah, I'm like, I guess I'm mixing together. And he was like, "You did what?" I go, "Yeah, it went." I said, but it gives you a chance to really express it, and that's what you want to show girls. So there's ways to express themselves and do what they love. Different avenues.
Right. Because I won't lie, I even thought about it, once upon a time, but just thinking about the heavy work of it, and just always seeing it in a male perspective, always seeing a male. And this is like 10 to 12 years ago, but I just wondered if I had the opportunity see more women like yourselves, out there really just doing it.
Opening your mind.
And to be able to connect them because, like you said, Dawna, there was women probably then that was like 2 or 3 of them, but they were very territorial.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I had a woman to mentor me either to get me into it. So it's like
they would only give you just enough.
Yep. But we are brought up in all aspects. Really think about it, modeling, acting, our everyday jobs, dating, everything. We are each other's competition. And until it doesn't matter whether you have a mentor or without a mentor, a group or without a group, until you have that confidence in yourself that says, "Hey, I'm good, even if I lose a job, we may go out for the same gig and Dawna gets it, I'm not gonna be like, damn it. She had my job. Right?
That took my money.
That was your job. It's okay that she got that because there's another one. That wasn't the one for me.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm okay with it. When I started that chat, I know a lot of people was like, "Dang, she put all these females in my chat."
I love it.
It worked out, and like they even brought it up when we did the mix show on KKFI. Like y'all ladies really like network.
And y'all some real life DJs,
Way more supportive than because I'm also in the male chat of all Kansas City, and I've seen some ugliness.
Okay,
and
more so that you would think that it would come from women more so than men. But I see
it's
the collaboration.
Amazing, the support, the love, and just like, how can I elevate you?
Right.
And
we share music, tips, tricks.
Yes.
I read this problem. Have you tried this? Blah, blah, blah.
And that's what I love about our group because I was by myself. I didn't really, interact with any other DJs let alone female DJs.
Right.
I think that it was awesome to just learn some tips and tricks, and people that have been there, done that before, can help me with starting up something or creating something, or learning this new trick. And I think it's so awesome, and with no type of negativity or no type of hatred towards each other. We're just all trying to see each other win, and I love that. Yeah. I love that about our group.
It's refreshing.
Love that about.
But that's the environment. Even like I know my husband, when we invited the DJs to come to our space, that was the number one thing. When I met my husband, they were doing mixed Mondays at his house. It was him and 3 other guys. And they had a lady that was doing it with them, and then she stopped coming. And so I was supposed to sing when I first did. I wasn't even really mixing. I love music, and I was making like manual mixes. Yeah. But I wasn't on the controller or anything. And so I was hosting the show and doing interviews and like, you love about music. Right. And being the face in front. And then, but I still love music, and I would ask a ton of questions. And I liked the vibe. I liked the way the music would fill the house, and we could share tips and tricks, and everybody had their own different lane. So like even when we started everybody to come to our space, it was cool because sometimes I would just have y'all over, and I wouldn't even mix. I'm like, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm over here working. Cool. I don't have to mix. I just want to be surrounded by music and let everybody open up and do their thing. Yeah. So we plan to continue that. When it opens back up, we want to do something like that. Or get my deck ready, or go back to the space, or do something, because it's
that's gonna be dope.
Good vibes.
Real quick, because it's about to wrap it on up. Everybody give the audience what you guys got going on. If any type of events coming on soon, or where to find you guys. You got a magazine. DJ Ice Cold got a magazine, and she got a space at the High D. Go ahead and break it all down. Break it all down.
So aside from my job, my Journey of the Broke, and I DJ, I also model and hostess. So on Facebook, that's That Girl Nicole 1 is the username, just Nicole. And then I wanted to start a fashion magazine that blended two things, which is my passion for music and my passion for fashion. So it's Music Meets the Model, is what it's called. And my husband actually helped me come up with that phrase, and we used it kind of as a backdrop for the wedding. So that magazine, all full page images, articles, blending music, fashion, local artists and events, things like that. We are relaunching late 2020. We did some rebranding and resizing, and kind of, took a little hit with COVID a little before that. So we're just going to kind of come out with a new layout, but we will be back. Okay. And is there anything else I do besides?
I know, because you got so many things.
Yeah.
What's your husband's name? DJ name?
My husband is DJ Joe.
We got to rap it too.
Yeah, he DJ Joe, Kansas City DJ on Facebook, and KC Unplugged. If you are there, we're doing live music concerts during all this pandemic. Featuring a lot of live artists who did some really great music mixing live while he broadcast. He was actually doing one tonight, so we have a couple come up. So, and if you go onto the Nelson Atkins website, we did a virtual Juneteenth. We just put that out. It came out today. So, it's on the website. They shared it on Facebook. It's on our pages or whatever have you. So
dope. What's up, Dawna? DJ Dawna.
First, I just want to say I love how supportive your husband is of you.
Yes.
The team unit.
That's a whole nother podcast, whole nother episode, y'all.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
I tell you.
No, because it's amazing how jealous guys can get. And I know I'm fortunate. I know you're fortunate. Yeah. Our men are just like, go get that bread.
Right.
So, and they don't care. Yeah. So, but anyway, as far as what I got going on, starting June 18th, Throwback KC down in Westport, our Thursdays will start kicking off. The first Thursday will be Ashton Martin and me. And then every Thursday it's going to be me, but we'll rotate in DJs like Vinyl Richie and Tiberius and Ashton Martin. All four of us will be there and just having a good time on Thursdays. And then outside of that, I'm hoping as things open up, I might be in more bars like Westport Ale House and stuff. But privately, I do a lot of stuff with the Holbrook Country Club.
Okay.
And they're going to be doing their swim parties because they got a swim team, and they like to do their dances after the swim meets. And so we're, instead of having 4, we're only going to do 3 this year, and we're going to have them outside. So I'm excited about that. 4th of July party also at the Country Club, and then just some weddings later on this year. So depends on if we have school or not. Because my absolute love is school dances.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's
I like the carnivals and
that's just I don't know. I don't know if that's just because where my heart is or what. But I love schools, and so if we have a school year this year,
Right.
you will see me all over those homecomings, back to school dances and whatnot. But we just have to take it week by week. Otherwise, come to throwback.
Well, I don't have anything going on. But
You got the podcast. What you talking
yeah, I
about?
got the podcast.
You'll get
816 Day. I'll be DJing something around that time for 816 Day. So August 16th, be on the lookout for DJ Missy E.
Nice.
Perfect.
Other than that, that's about it, y'all. So
She leaks out that she's nominated for KCPCA.
Oh, yes.
So, you know.
thank you. We'll see what happens with
We'll see
that.
what
We'll see what happens.
happens.
But there's so many dope female DJs in the nominees category.
Yeah.
You know, I'm okay with either one of anybody that wins. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah. I'm excited
Anybody.
that, you know, I know that it's a struggle to whether to be just a DJ or a female DJ. I am glad that they were able to break that category
Me
out.
too.
Right.
Yes.
And so, yeah, whoever wins is a check and a win and a call.
For all of us.
For all of us.
Yes.
So,
I agree.
We're going to have a party.
We are.
Yeah.
And look, we turning up. Okay, whoever
The
wins.
ultimate female mixed party.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. All right, y'all. Well, that was the Night Hype Show.
Night Hype Show.
Thank you guys for coming out.
No
Hey,
problem.
and don't forget about us. Night Hype Show.
Oh, yeah.
NITE.
NITE. Night Hype Show. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We did have a Snapchat. We don't have it no more. Twitter.
No.
We got Twitter too, y'all. We got Twitter too.
It's social
It's
media.
so much.
Listen, we're going to get together. We're going to hire us somebody.
We're going to figure it out. We're going to
We're
figure
gonna
it
hire
out.
somebody who's going to be on all social media.
I got
Tune in,
time now.
SoundCloud.
Okay,
I'll take
that's
that.
Hold on. Don't play.
iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and Google and Apple Podcasts. Just holla at us. And that was it, y'all. Thank you guys for coming out. Have
Thanks
a
for
great
having
one.
me.
We're going to try to do a part 2 of this DJ thing because there's so many of them, and we didn't get to get all of them on the show. And I would love to do a mix maybe one day. We can,
That would be dope.
that would be really dope.
Yeah.
One day.
But I have a challenge to it. It had to be all Kansas City artists.
Ow. That sounds like some work.
That sounds like some work.
That sounds like some
Throwing
work.
it down.
I've done some all-female mixes. I've done some all old school.
But not, but never all Kansas.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That's a
That
lot
would be
to think
fun.
about.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
Let's go.
Well, shout out to y'all. We get your dudes.
All right, y'all. See you later. Bye.
2 birds, 1 stone.